During my early 20s, I found myself residing in a quaint mountain town situated just outside of Salt Lake City. To make ends meet, I took up a job at the only hotel in town, a small family-owned establishment with a mere 12 rooms. Since the hotel was not frequented by many visitors, my overnight shifts often involved handling the responsibilities alone. One evening, as I sat in the lounge room adjacent to the main entrance, I noticed the headlights of a car illuminating the parking lot. Curiosity piqued. I set aside my phone and positioned myself behind the front desk, awaiting the arrival of the guest. Several minutes passed, and as impatience settled in, I found myself instinctively reaching for my phone once again. After nearly half an hour, a weary-looking man, approximately my age, finally stepped through the doors. Attempting to engage in small talk, I remarked, "Looks like you've had a long day of driving." However, he remained silent, promptly producing cash from his wallet and requesting a room for the night. I guided him through the check-in process, securing his signature on the register, and handed him the key to room 4, located on the first floor down the hallway. Carrying only a small backpack, the man headed straight to his room. With no other guests present, it was just him and me within the confines of the building. While I acknowledged that his fatigue was likely a result of a long journey, an uncomfortable feeling settled over me due to his demeanor. In filling out the registration sheet, he had neglected to provide a last name, using only the initial D alongside the generic first name Daniel. Although the hotel had never truly required registration sheets before, the omission struck me as odd. Returning to the lounge, I settled down, plugged in my headphones, and commenced watching a movie downloaded on my phone. However, my attention was abruptly seized by a muffled thump resonating from down the hallway, causing the floor beneath me to quiver as if the entire building had been jolted. Removing one earbud, I strained my senses, only for another thump to follow mere seconds later. Reacting swiftly, I hastened to the end of the hallway, yet found no immediate signs of disturbance. Instinctively, my thoughts turned to the man in room 4. Could he have accidentally knocked something over or caused the noise unintentionally? Curiosity tinged with unease propelled me to approach his door and gently rap against it. "Sir, are you okay?" I inquired, but no response emanated from within. After a brief pause, during which I strained to perceive any subtle sounds, I detected faint breathing seeping through the door, confirming that he was indeed present, deliberately attempting to remain silent. A shiver crept down my spine, and I cautiously retreated to the safety of the front desk, heightening my vigilance for the remainder of the night. Fortunately, the hours that followed remained undisturbed, devoid of any further peculiar incidents. However, as morning approached and the designated checkout time arrived, the guest failed to appear at the front desk. Allowing for a reasonable delay, I granted him an additional hour before growing concerned about his prolonged absence. Knocking on his door yielded no response, compelling me to employ the spare key. To my surprise, the door stubbornly resisted our attempts to unlock it, barely budging despite our collective efforts. Ultimately, we were left with no choice but to contact the hotel owners for assistance. Once they arrived, we applied additional force to gain access to the room. To our bewilderment, we discovered that the dresser had been deliberately positioned against the door, effectively barricading us from entering. However, the most disconcerting discovery awaited us. The guest was nowhere to be found. Despite our thorough search, he had vanished without a trace. What perplexed us even more was the fact that his car remained parked in the lot, untouched since his arrival. We meticulously combed through the room, seeking any clue that could shed light on the enigmatic disappearance. Yet, our efforts yielded no answers. It was as if the man had simply dissolved into thin air. Speculations and theories circulated among the staff, ranging from the possibility of an elaborate prank to more unsettling notions of something supernatural at play. As days turned into weeks, the incident remained an unsolved mystery, leaving us with lingering unease. News of the peculiar occurrence spread throughout the town, sparking curiosity and apprehension among the residents. The once forgotten hotel suddenly found itself in the spotlight, attracting both intrigue and wary glances. Rumors and urban legends began to take shape, weaving tales of a ghostly visitor who came and went unnoticed, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions. People speculated about the hotel's history and any potential connections to unexplained phenomena. The town's folklore, once filled with quaint tales of local legends, now incorporated the mysterious vanishing guest into its narrative. Despite the influx of curiosity seekers, the hotel's atmosphere underwent a subtle transformation. Guests, wary of the unknown, approached with cautious steps and apprehensive glances, their minds filled with whispers of the unexplained. The owners, sensing the need to address the situation, conducted their own investigations, hiring experts in the paranormal field to shed light on the incident. As the inquiries deepened, a new revelation emerged. The hotel, it seemed, had a hidden past that few were aware of. Through painstaking research, forgotten records were unearthed, unveiling a string of peculiar occurrences spanning decades. Tales of vanishing guests, inexplicable phenomena, and spectral figures lurking in the shadows came to light, suggesting that the hotel held secrets far beyond what met the eye. Armed with this newfound knowledge, the owners and their team of investigators delved deeper into the history of the town. Tracing the origins of these strange happenings, they uncovered stories of a bygone era when the town was a hub of supernatural activity, attracting those with a curiosity for the unexplained. It appeared that the hotel, sitting atop a convergence of mystical energies, unwittingly became a focal point for otherworldly occurrences. With the revelation of the hotel's haunted past, the town embraced its reputation, turning it into a destination for those seeking thrills and supernatural experiences. The once quiet mountain town found itself transformed into a hotbed for paranormal tourism, attracting visitors from far and wide. As for the mysterious guest who disappeared into thin air, his vanishing act remained an enduring enigma, a tale whispered among the locals. Some claimed that he was a restless spirit, finally finding release after completing his unfinished business. Others believed that he had inadvertently stumbled upon a portal to another dimension, forever trapped between realms. The small hotel that once stood in obscurity became a symbol of fascination, its history intertwined with the mystique of the town itself. And while the truth behind the man's disappearance may never be known, it served as a catalyst, igniting a newfound curiosity and appreciation for the unknown in the hearts of those who ventured there. As for me, I continued my employment at the hotel, now enveloped in an air of mystery and intrigue. Each night, as I sat in the lounge room, I couldn't help but wonder about the strange occurrences in the thin veil that separated our world from the realm of the supernatural. The experience left an indelible mark on my life, forever reminding me that sometimes the most fascinating stories are the ones that defy explanation. I'm a seasoned professional in my late 40s, and my line of work involves traveling across the country to provide training to employees at our company. These trips are funded by the company, covering our travel expenses and accommodation. While it may seem like a leisurely getaway at times, the reality is that these trips are often demanding. We work long hours, spending most of our days in the office, leaving little time for rest before the cycle repeats. During one of these work trips, I found myself at a hotel where I had been staying for a few days. It was a Saturday night when I finished work and returned to the hotel slightly after 10. As I entered the hotel, the lobby and corridors were eerily quiet. No one was milling around, and the elevator ride to my floor was solitary. Upon reaching my floor, I stepped out and proceeded down the hallway. However, at the far end, I noticed a figure standing in front of what appeared to be my door. I couldn't discern with certainty from that distance, but it seemed like someone was indeed standing there. As I approached, the individual caught sight of me and promptly walked away, disappearing into a nearby room a few doors down. This encounter left me curious about the purpose of their presence near my door. Though I assumed the person was either outside my room or the adjacent one, I leaned toward the latter possibility. After a couple of minutes, I dismissed the incident from my mind, focusing instead on taking a refreshing shower before retiring to bed. Given the impending long workday ahead, I didn't want to dwell on trivial matters. I eventually drifted off to sleep but found myself intermittently waking throughout the night, disturbed by the sound of footsteps outside my room. At one point, I even thought I heard a knock, but I couldn't discern whether it was a fragment of a dream or a genuine occurrence. Exhausted, I rose in the morning, still feeling fatigued, and proceeded to work. It was a late evening when I finally returned to the hotel, around 9 o'clock. At least this time, it was earlier than the previous night. As I made my way to my room, there was no one in the hallway, granting a semblance of relief. Casually tossing my work bag onto the couch, I settled into bed but decided to unwind by watching some television before succumbing to slumber. Reaching for the remote control on the nightstand, I selected a random show and allowed myself to relax. I don't recall drifting off, but I must have dozed for a brief moment since I jolted awake a few minutes before 10 to the sound of a ringing phone. Initially, my groggy state led me to assume the sound originated from the nightstand where my phone usually rested. However, as I regained full consciousness, I realized the ringtone was emanating from a different direction, and my phone was not even present. With a sudden surge of alertness, I turned my head towards the closet adjacent to the television, only to witness an instant cessation of the ringing. A chill ran down my spine as I detected a slight movement, a shadow creeping through the crack between the closet doors. Swiftly propelled by a surge of adrenaline, I leaped out of bed and raced out of the room. Bolting straight for the stairs, my heart pounding in my chest, I hurriedly reached the front desk, urgently communicating the situation to the staff. They promptly summoned security, who arrived within a few minutes and proceeded to investigate the room. In a matter of seconds, they emerged, apprehending a man, the very same individual I had seen in the hallway earlier. Astonishingly, he had not attempted to flee and was discovered hiding within the confines of the closet. My disbelief, the man seemed oblivious to who I was or what his intentions were. He provided no coherent explanation for why he had broken into my room and concealed himself in the closet, silently observing my every move through the narrow gaps. It sent shivers down my spine to think about the potential dangers that could have transpired if his phone hadn't rung at that crucial moment. The incident left me with a lingering sense of unease and apprehension. How did this stranger gain access to my room, and what were his motives? The questions swirled in my mind, creating an unsettling cloud of uncertainty. I couldn't shake off the feeling of vulnerability and violated privacy, despite the subsequent apprehension of the intruder. Over the following days, I took extra precautions, ensuring that my hotel room was securely locked and utilizing the available safety features. The incident served as a sobering reminder of the importance of personal security, even in seemingly safe environments. As my work trip continued, I found solace in the presence of my colleagues. We shared our experiences, exchanging tales of strange encounters or near-miss incidents during our travels. It became apparent that such incidents were not uncommon, and many of us had faced similar unnerving situations. The encounter with the intruder instilled in me a heightened sense of vigilance and awareness. I became more observant of my surroundings, noting any suspicious behavior or unusual occurrences. It was a stark reminder that one can never be too cautious, even in seemingly secure settings. In the aftermath of the incident, I reported the incident to the hotel management and worked closely with the local authorities to ensure appropriate measures were taken to prevent similar incidents in the future. It was essential to protect the safety and well-being of both hotel guests and employees. As I completed my work trip and returned home, I couldn't help but reflect on the incident. It had served as a wake-up call, reminding me of the fragility of personal security and the importance of staying vigilant, no matter where life takes me. From that point forward, I made a concerted effort to prioritize my safety during travel. I researched hotels more thoroughly, opting for those with robust security measures and positive reviews. I familiarized myself with emergency procedures and ensured that I always had a reliable means of communication on hand. Though the incident had shaken me to the core, I refused to let fear dictate my life. Instead, I channeled the experience into a catalyst for personal growth and resilience. It served as a stark reminder of the inherent risks we all face and the need to remain alert, adaptable, and prepared in an ever-changing world. While the memory of that harrowing encounter still lingers, I've emerged stronger and more determined to safeguard myself and those around me. It was a valuable lesson that transcended the boundaries of that hotel room, reminding me to remain vigilant and prioritize personal security in all aspects of life.